Of course. Let's dive into the U.S. Constitution. Think of it as the ultimate rule book for the United States. After the American Revolution, the new United States was like a group of friends who had just quit a club with a really bossy president, King George III. They tried to make their own club with a first rule book, called the Articles of Confederation. But it was too weak. Nobody was really in charge, states argued all the time, and the country was a bit of a mess. So, in 1787, a team of America's superstars, like George Washington, James Madison, and Benjamin Franklin, met in a hot, stuffy room in Philadelphia. Their job was to create a new, stronger rule book. After a long summer of debates and compromises, they created the Constitution. Here it is, in full detail, broken down for you. Part 1. The Preamble, the Mission Statement. The Constitution starts with a famous 52-word sentence that explains the whole point of the document. It's like the mission statement for the entire country. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Wow, that's a mouthful. Let's translate. We the people. This is huge. It says the power doesn't come from a king or a government, but from the citizens themselves. Form a more perfect union to create a better, more united country than the one they had under the old rule book. Establish justice to make sure everyone is treated fairly by creating a fair legal system and courts. Ensure domestic tranquility to keep peace inside the country. No more fighting between states. Provide for the common defense to protect the country from outside enemies with an army and navy. Promote the general welfare to help make life good for everyone. Secure the blessings of liberty to protect our freedom for ourselves, our kids, our grandkids, and all future generations. Part 2. The 7 Articles, the rules of the game. The main body of the Constitution is divided into 7 parts called articles. They explain how the government is supposed to work. The big idea here is called separation of powers. The framers divided the government into 3 main teams, or branches, to make sure no one person or group got too powerful. Article 12, Article 1, the legislative branch, the lawmakers. This is Congress. Think of them as the official rule makers for the country. Congress is split into 2 smaller teams. The House of Representatives has 435 members. The number of representatives each state gets is based on its population. So, states with more people, like California and Texas, have more representatives. Members are elected every 2 years. The Senate has 100 members. Every state gets exactly 2 senators, no matter how big or small it is. This was a big compromise to make small states feel they had a voice. Senators are elected every 6 years. Main job: to write and vote on bills, ideas for laws. If both the House and the Senate vote yes on a bill, it goes to the President. Article 2. Article 2. The executive branch, the enforcer. This is the President, Vice President, and all the departments that help them run the country. The President is the boss of this branch. Think of the President as the team captain or CEO of the United States. Main job: to enforce the laws that Congress makes. The President is also the commander-in-chief of the military, signs treaties with other countries, and appoints judges and other officials. The President is elected every 4 years. Article 3. Article 3. The judicial branch, the referees. This is the Supreme Court and all the other federal courts. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. It has 9 judges, called justices, who are appointed for life. Main job: to interpret the laws. They are the umpires of the country. They decide if a law that Congress or a state passes is fair and if it follows the rules of the Constitution. This power is called judicial review. A super important idea: checks and balances. The creators of the Constitution were afraid one branch might become a bully. So, they gave each branch ways to check or limit the power of the other two. It's like a game of rock, paper, scissors. Congress can pass a law, but the president can veto, reject it. If the president vetoes a law, Congress can override the veto with a super large vote. The Supreme Court can declare a law unconstitutional, but the president appoints the justices and the Senate approves them. The president is the commander of the military, but only Congress can declare war. This system makes sure everyone has to work together. Article 4. The states' teamwork rules. This article says that all the states have to respect each other's laws and decisions. So if you are born in Florida, you are still a citizen in Colorado. Your driver's license from one state is valid in another. Article 5. How to change the rulebook. The framers knew the country would change, so they created a way to add to or change the Constitution. These changes are called amendments, but they made it very difficult on purpose, so the rules wouldn't be changed for silly reasons. Article 6. The supreme law of the land. This article says the Constitution is the highest law in the entire country. No state can make a law that goes against what the Constitution says. The Constitution is the boss. Article 7. Making it official. This just explains that the Constitution would become the official rulebook once 9 of the 13 states ratified it. Part 3. The amendments, the updates, and your rights. The Constitution has been amended 27 times. The first 10 are extra special and have their own name. The Bill of Rights, Amendments 1 to 10. When the Constitution was first written, some people worried it didn't do enough to protect the rights of individual citizens. So, James Madison wrote a list of 10 amendments to guarantee specific freedoms. First Amendment, the 5 big freedoms. It protects your right to freedom of speech, say what you believe. Freedom of religion, practice any faith. Freedom of the press, journalists can report the news. Freedom of assembly, gather in peaceful groups. And freedom to petition the government, complain to it. Second Amendment, the right to own weapons. Third Amendment, the government can't force you to let soldiers live in your house. This was a big problem during the Revolution. Fourth Amendment, protects your privacy. It says police can't search you or your home without a good reason and a warrant from a judge. Fifth Amendment, you can't be forced to say anything that would get you in trouble in court. The right to remain silent. It also says you can't be put on trial for the same crime twice. Double jeopardy. Sixth Amendment guarantees a speedy and public trial with a lawyer if you're accused of a crime. Seventh Amendment guarantees a trial by jury in certain types of civil cases when people are suing each other. Eighth Amendment bans cruel and unusual punishment. This means the government can't torture people, and bail has to be reasonable. Ninth Amendment, the etc. Amendment. It says you have other rights besides the ones listed here. 10th Amendment, any powers that the Constitution doesn't give to the federal government belong to the states or the people. Look for Part 2.